So it's 10 o'clock and we'll begin. Today we're going to do a meditation in this session called Metta Bhavana. And if you've not come across this before, it translates to something like cultivating loving kindness. Metta is an old Indian word, an old Sanskrit word, I think. I might have that wrong. Anyway, it's an old Indian word, very old, and it's untranslatable in a way, and it means something like loving kindness or friendship, acceptance, being supportive of, and that kind of thing. Friendliness, another one. And it's all those things, really. It's not, it's got such a different meaning to any word that we've got in the English language. But it's basically, I suppose you could call it unconditional love. It's a sense of wishing well to everybody, whether we like them or not, whether we know them or not, whether we, even if we've had problems with them. It's just a sense of wishing other beings well, not just human beings, all beings. A sense that everything that has life is precious and valuable, and just wishing everything well. So we as human beings have this capacity to have an enormous amount of likes and dislikes and views and opinions about things. So inevitably that causes us to fall out with people, or to have an aversion to people, or to judge people. And it's not a very productive thing to do, really, is it? Because whenever we get sort of a bit uppity about somebody else, or we react to what somebody else says to us, or we just don't like somebody, then it causes us a bit of pain, sometimes a lot of pain. Have you ever noticed when you're actually making critical comments in your mind about people that it doesn't feel very nice? It just feels a bit unpleasant. And it closes us down. If we keep doing it a lot, it makes us into quite mean-minded people. Most of us probably don't do it to that extent, but if we can just allow ourselves not to do it and to do something else instead, to have positive thoughts about the world, then that leads us to becoming more open and to becoming kinder, happier people ourselves, living in a world that responds to that kindness. So that's what this meditation is all about. It's not about instantly becoming ultra kind, or suddenly having this heart full of loving kindness for all beings. It's not about that. It's initially just about recognizing that we sometimes aren't very nice about other people. Maybe it might be justified, but even so, we can recognize that people have been unkind to us, but we can still wish them well. And this applies particularly to ourselves, of course. I don't know about you, but I have my little self-critic sitting on my shoulder, telling me off from time to time. And it's uncomfortable. And if only we could be kind to ourselves. We're always doing our best. And we need to keep bringing that to mind with a sense of kindness to our failings, or the failings that we see as failings, or our embarrassments or our humiliations. Just a sense of kindness. We don't need to get at ourselves at all. So I'll lead us through this, and if you haven't done it before, then you will get the drift, I think, as we go along. We've got some more people. We've got Kate and Barbara. Good to see you both. Barbara says, yeah, she's glad she hasn't missed me this morning. Barbara's a regular, so on our pajama meditations. So it's good to see you all. And somebody whose name I can't read, but I love the graphic. It's great. And I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, so this is the Metta Bhavana, the loving kindness meditation, and I'm going to read the poem, but we'll settle in first and just relax before we begin. And you can do this lying down, sitting on a chair, sitting on a cushion, however you want, really. Just be comfortable. It's quite good to sit on a chair for this particular meditation, but you don't have to, or sit on a cushion. I'm sitting on a meditation stool, which I find really comfortable. So just checking how you're sitting. If you're sitting on a chair, trying to be quite upright, a sense of alertness with a reasonably straight back and the head balanced on top of the spine, just nice and comfy, relaxed but alert. And similarly, if you're sitting on a cushion or a stool, and just seeing how you are right now. How are you mentally? Maybe busy mind or quiet mind or something in between. How are you emotionally? Feeling happy, or at least feeling reasonably good, or maybe not so good. And how are you physically? Feeling okay in your body, or maybe a bit stiff and achy first thing in the morning? Maybe you've got some pain somewhere in the body, or some discomfort. So however we are, just accepting that this is where we are. We're not trying to change it. We're trying not to get into conflict with it. We're just noticing that it's where we are and it's okay. And if we have got any discomfort, mental or physical, just bringing a sense of kindness to it. This meditation that we're going to do is all about kindness. Kindness to ourselves, to our being, to our body. Kindness to others. Just allowing the weight of your body to be held by whatever you're sitting or lying on. Giving up your weight. And as much as you can, relaxing your mind and relaxing your body. And this is a poem by Julia Fehrenbacher called Remembering. There is nothing you need to do. You know, no amount of hiding or seeking or telling or trying will erase the ache, the weight, the trembling, strangling middle of the moment grip that threatens to feast on your care. You need only return to the part that breathes and beats and hears and sees, all on its very own. For the part that hums and sways and dreams lullabies, lullabies of peace. Come, it says, lean the weight of you against me, sit and stay. Stay until you remember that you were tangled and woven in stardust, in roots and rivers, in suns and moons, in every breath that has ever breathed. Until you remember that you are me and I am you, and that together we are everything. So we begin this meditation by staying with ourselves, perhaps bringing our attention to the breath in the body to begin with, the moving of our chest in time to our breathing. Focusing on the chest expanding and contracting. What does that feel like? And bringing our attention down to the bottom of the rib cage, right in the middle of the chest. This is the sternum. And behind here is the heart center. Place where we feel all our positive feelings. And if you're feeling good and you focus very closely, you can maybe feel the heart center, a warmth, a beautiful feeling of loving kindness, particularly noticeable on the in-breath. And if you can't feel it, not everybody can, and try bringing to mind somebody you love very dearly, a person or a pet, a child or an adult, and see where you feel that love. See where that love arises. That sense of connection with the person that you really love. And don't worry if you can't feel anything, just staying open to maybe noticing something. not trying too hard. Holding this sense of love for this person or pet in your heart. And allowing any warm feelings to radiate throughout the body. Not forcing anything. But just allowing any sense of love to grow and spread. So can we bring this sense of loving kindness to ourselves? We are complex beings. Complex beings with many, many different aspects to ourselves. Happy, sad, angry, sociable, irritable, kind, thoughtful, and detached. So many more different sides to us. And sometimes we act in ways that we'd rather not act. Sometimes we react to situations. Sometimes we say things that we wish we hadn't said. And we might recognize that we would like to change or be better than we are. And that's okay. But in order to do that, we need to accept ourselves as we are now, with all our imperfect perfectness. Having a sense of kindness to this tender human being that is ourselves. Tender human being, always doing our best. So having a sense of loving kindness towards ourselves, and wishing ourselves well. Just being if we can, our own best friend, being supportive of ourselves and taking care of ourselves. And in the second stage, we're going to bring to mind a good friend, somebody that we really care about, bringing them to mind in our imagination, maybe an image of them, or if we can't do that, then just a sense of their presence in some way, inviting them to come and sit with us in this meditation. And how does it feel to have this good friend with you? Perhaps it feels really good, sense of real love and kindness to them. Occasionally, it might not. Occasionally, there may be something that comes up that's different, and that's okay. So whatever's arising as you picture this friend, that's okay. Having a sense of acceptance to that and kindness, and rejoicing if it's love. And just keeping this friend in mind, not thinking too many thoughts, just feeling what you feel in your heart. And then wishing them well, wishing them health and happiness, and freedom from life's difficulties. In the third stage, we're going to bring to mind a stranger, somebody that we see fairly often, but we don't know very well, we neither like nor dislike, and just seeing how we feel. This could be a postman or postwoman, someone serving in the shop, a neighbour, or just somebody you see regularly. Bringing them to mind as an image or a sense of them, and just noticing how you feel. So really being honest about how you feel. There may be a sense of connection, or there may be a sense of disconnection, of indifference even. After all, we may think this person doesn't really affect us in our lives very much. They might be a bit two-dimensional. And if that's the case, that's the truth. It's okay. It's okay to accept that, notice it, admit it. I think this is how many of us feel about strangers. But even if we feel like this, can we maybe reflect that this person has so much in common with us? They too have good times and bad times. They get terribly disappointed at times, and sometimes they're really happy. There's times when they get upset, maybe even cry. And other times when life is really good. And that's just like us. They have feelings, triumphs, failures and embarrassments, just like we do. And they feel exactly the same about them as we feel. This person is going to get old just like we are, and they're going to get sick. And one day they're going to die, just like ourselves. So can we see this stranger as another tender human being, just doing their best in the world? And can we have a sense of solidarity with them, a sense of real connection, one human being to another? Can we wish them well? Can we wish them good health, happiness and freedom from life's difficulties. And in the fourth stage, we're going to bring to mind somebody who we don't get on with very well, somebody who presents a bit of difficulty for us. Not a massive difficulty, but somebody who irritates us, somebody who we don't like to be around, somebody who we have a lot of judgments about, who we're critical of maybe. And the first thing is to just really admit this to ourselves. This is what we're like with them. It may or may not be comfortable to admit it, but this is really important to just acknowledge our feelings about this person. And as we do that, to notice what they feel like in the body. What are the sensations that happen in the body when we bring this person to mind? There might be a heaviness in the belly, tightness in the chest and other parts of the body. Just a general tightening. Maybe a sense of closing down. And not judging this. This is what's happening. Just noticing it with a sense of kindness. Bringing a sense of love to any discomfort. That the thought of this person creates. Having a sense of kindness to ourselves at our suffering, at the pain that we cause ourselves. And just noticing that it's not the person themselves, the difficult person, that causes us this discomfort. It's our own mind. And having a sense of kindness about that. And then just considering that this person that we have difficulty with is a human being just like ourselves. We may not like them, but they're still a human being. They still have joys and sorrows just like we do. They have ups and downs in their lives. And they have difficulties that maybe create problems for them. And like us, they're always doing the best, even if we don't think it's very good sometimes. So without trying to like them or change our opinion of them, can we just wish them well? Wish them good health. Wish them happiness. And wish them relief from the difficulties of life. And in the final part of this practice, we're going to bring all four people together in our imagination. That's ourselves, the good friend, the stranger, and the person we have difficulty with. And we're going to try and open our hearts to all four, pouring loving kindness on all four human beings, as much as we can, without preferring one above the other. All four people deserve our goodwill. We all have so much in common. And then can we expand that goodwill to all those who are meditating with us at the moment? Tracy, Louise, Deborah, the person whose name I can't read, Kate, Barbara, and Charlotte. And anybody else who's joined in, maybe Zoe and Sarah on the Facebook link, and all other beings, all other people who are meditating with us, whose names we don't know. Can we wish all of these human beings, these warm, tender human beings, can we wish them well? And spreading our goodwill even further to all the people in this country of ours, to all the people in the world, 7 billion people in all kinds of situations, all kinds of ages, cultures, those who are ill, those who are well, the rich and those in poverty, those dying and those just being born, those enjoying their lives and those in pain and difficulties. We'll never know them, but they're human beings just like ourselves. So can we have some sense of connection with them and wish them well? And expanding our goodwill even further, expanding it, radiating it out to all living beings, all human beings, all animals, all birds, all creatures that live in the water, and all insects, all living beings, all of them trying to do their best in this life, trying to survive, trying to be comfortable and to be happy. So opening our hearts to everything that lives with a sense of loving kindness.